So morning to you all, and welcome back to day 3 on Mull. Found a lovely little spot here just off the lock side, so here I am, Loch Spelvey. So what I plan on doing this morning is hopefully just going to take a walk down, find a spot, pop the hide up, and hopefully I'll get some rewarded with some views of the otter and maybe some other bird species. So last night I saw the seal coming along, I saw mergansers, I saw divers, heron, oyster catcher, curlew, common sandpiper. So I thought, well, it's a prime little spot there, and they seem to be frequenting it up and down here quite a bit. So, and it's a great stretch of kelpy seaweed here, so it's got to be prime for otter. I'm going to sit in the hide and just enjoy it while it's no rain today forecast, maybe a little bit later this afternoon. So all in all, a fine day. I was going to head down to a really well-known place, but it was so busy there yesterday with so many people. I think it's just best to avoid it. Lots of people were down there. The otter came in, someone shouted "Otter," and the otter flushed and swam away. So and it didn't come back. So, you know, it's not really the best place to go, I don't think, especially for close encounters with otters. So I'm going to take my chances along here and hope I'll get rewarded with a few sightings and maybe a few shots along the way. Tomorrow the weather is gale force winds. I think it's 45 gusting. It's horrendous. So got to go with what I got. My idea this time was to do like a hen harrier and owl video, to do otter video, to do other bird species, but it's just not going to be as I expected because of the weather. So I'm just going to go with what I've got and then just enjoy the bird species along the shoreline, and hopefully we'll get to see an otter as well. In fact, I can see a nice grey heron just up there feeding at the minute. So need to get in, get the hide set up and get amongst it. So guys, it's the weather's picked up nicely now, and probably wondering why I'm stuck in a hide. Well, because the weather's been that bad, and it literally is forecast to be okay, say this morning. We've had loads of torrential downpours, and being out amongst the kelp and the rocks, stalking an otter. If you see an otter, obviously you can then, if it's in the water, once it dives, move, lay up when it pops up, settle till it dives again. And obviously an otter sleeping, got to be a bit aware of it waking up, because it wakes up, has a quick look around and then goes back to sleep again. So a hide is the best thing really. Just sit here, wait for them to come to you. This is a good area. I've seen it in here. There's a lot of kelp, and I'm hoping that the otter will come here and won't get spooked. We'll sit, chill out, relax. It is a needle in a haystack. There's 300 miles of coast on Mull. It can literally be anywhere, but other stuff will appear as well. So, you know, I may do a bit of stalking if the weather gets better, sort of observe from a distance, see where they are, and then see if I can creep in on an approach. But it's quite flat. The approach, you know, carrying a lens across the stones and through the weed isn't easy. I've got my beanbag with me from Simon Eardley, and I'll be using that quite a bit, and I have used that quite a bit. It's been really good. Sort of just tuck the lens on top of the beanbag, move, get down, position, beanbag, support, straight in. So really, really good way of doing it if you're mobile and you've got a fairly light outfit. But for the minute, I'm going to stick to this, see how it goes, and I may have to just change tact as I go. But for the minute, you know, it's working quite well, and it's nice to be in here out the weather. I mean, I've got waterproof covers on my camera, and I've got my solar generator charge in there as well at the minute, so I don't really want to leave that. Someone may lift it. So that's a couple of the methods you can use when you're trying to photograph otters or any birds along the shoreline. Is find a good place, plenty of weed, plenty of feeding areas, good elevated position, sun behind, out the wind, sit, chill out, and then hopefully the wildlife will then come to you, which is often the best way, and that way you don't stress them too much. So we've just got a seal in at the moment that's just bobbing up and down, and he's just moving across, scanning the coastline. Quite close actually. Lovely to see it though, and I saw a couple of these yesterday as well with an otter as well there, not so far away. And you not often notice that as they're hunting, fish jump out of the water. Always a good indication there, not a definite one, but an indication that something's chasing them. Lovely to see. It's just going in this really smooth patch of water because it's quite choppy out on the loch, but just in here it's quite calm. It's lovely to see the movement in the water, but nice to see. Another mammal tick for Mull. Let's have a bit more. So at last we've got some sun, and the Jackery unit is now powering. So we've got 66 watts of light coming in and 26%, 27% now. It's powering up nicely, which is great. I've been obviously without any means at the moment because I'm not travelling around the island, and I just want to get in the vehicle and just drive around to charge it up. So I'm trying to use the solar energy as much as I can, and I've used it when it's slightly overcast as well, and it has been very slowly trickling in as well, so that will help me out hopefully today to charge up 3 or 4 batteries and just allow me to just continue doing what I'm doing. But yeah, it is a bit of a game changer really, rather than me having to go and find somewhere to get it plugged in. But yeah, really pleased with it actually so far. You know, very easy to use, quite portable. Yeah, it's one of those things that if you're in a place where the sun is constantly shining, you leave it in the day, it charges up fully, job done. Absolutely critical really for me, being here on Mull and obviously living out of the landy there. But yeah, really happy with it so far. Just had an amazing experience there with the otter. I looked behind me through the little peek hole here, and as I was looking, it was no further than probably about 20 foot behind me on a rock. Amazing. I couldn't swing around, shooting into the light, and I probably would have spooked it. And then it was actively fishing all the way past. Every time I tracked it, the camera, it dived, and then it went around this kelp bed and then disappeared. Oh, it's an amazing sight though. It was so good. Absolutely no pictures or footage because it just moved too quick, but I'm hoping it's going to be back. The lovely light here now, absolutely beautiful. If you can just see now, this is just a light I haven't seen since I've been here. This is incredible. What an absolutely beautiful setting. I mean, amazing. Oh, if I could get an otter on there in this light, it would be fantastic. But let's set it out and hope it comes back. So guys, as I said about the Jackery system at the moment, which is obviously charging up at the moment with the Solar Saga 100 outside, but also in here, it's a bit like Spaghetti Junction. I've got another solar unit there, which is a RAV Power solar unit, and that's now charging my mobile phone and charging my GoPro batteries. So just trying to make use of the sun where I can. It's one of those things that, you know, if you are somewhere fairly remote, you can still function as a photographer in the field really with just those bits of kit really. So that 4-panel solar there from RAV Power, and obviously the Jackery system as well, and that's charging up nicely now. So that's just now achieving about 70 watts. So it really is sucking up that sun. So hopefully I'll be able to charge the camera batteries a bit later on. But yeah, nice when you're sitting in the hide that everything's starting to charge, and for a very gloomy wet day tomorrow where I may just be in the hide all day. So yeah, fingers crossed the light will remain for another couple of hours. I can get as much juice as I can in the batteries, and yeah, I'll be good to go. otter is finally back. It's just diving just off the back. Just doing a little bit of video here. Just keeps diving. Oh, fantastic. It's dived and gone down now. So it's been a bit quiet the last couple of hours, and I've just had a merganser in, a sawbill, just on the edge of the kelp, just going past. Apart from that, it's been real quiet. A few swallows zipping in and out, willow warbler to the left. Apart from that, it's pretty damn quiet. We're now probably, 11 o'clock. I think the weather's due to get wet in the next couple of hours, so not sure what to do. Stick it out in here, leave the kit in here, head back to the landy, have some lunch, come back in, wet afternoon in the hide again. It's not really an awful lot I can do. It's a little bit difficult. Trekking along the shoreline in the rain over boulders and seaweed. Yeah, it's no good really. It's not really much fun, and plus I don't want to be spooking the otters and changing their behaviour. So I'd rather just stick it out and hope for the best, and maybe I'll get rewarded if I smash it the next few days. I'd love an otter picture with the young, but I think I might be out of luck now. Yeah, but I'll just get what I can really, and I've got a couple images in the bag there. Hopefully you'll see those on the on next with a little bit of video. So yeah, quite pleased really. You can't win them all. I came here for otters, and I've chatted to people this week that have been here the week and they haven't seen any. So it's kind of kept myself lucky for having an experience with them, especially the one that swam by me this morning, probably 15-20 feet from me. Yeah, fantastic. But yeah, plod on. Bit of lunch I think shortly, and then crack on, see if we can get a otter in the rain. So guys, today was my weather window, if you like, where it was going to be half decent. It ended up being sunny, windy and quite wet, but in between the showers it was amazing, absolutely amazing. And I tried my hardest today for otters, and saw the otters this morning, which was great, at a bit of distance, but still I was happy just seeing them, because that's really what I came here for, is to spend time with otters and start to learn about otters and then work with otters. And then just, I think, to be honest, I've got the bug, the otter bug. We don't get that many in Cornwall. And but I was just coming down tonight, just to secure the tragopan. It's got the wind coming in. I've got the pegs in, put the stones in. And as I was putting the stones in, I looked up, and right in front of me, probably a good 30 feet away, was an otter feeding right in front of me. I was like, how on earth did it not see me? So it grabbed my camera, came down, lay on the ground, got a few shots, a little bit of video, and then it proceeded to then go down the shoreline, and I followed it down the road, waiting for it to dive, followed along, came up, ducked down, followed it all the way in, and I got within, and it wasn't all about getting real close, but it ended up coming towards me, and I got about 15 foot away, feeding happily on eels and all sorts of manner of fish just in front of me, loving it. And the light just came out at the end. It was really cloudy like this. Just as it came in for the closer shots, the light was there, illuminated the seaweed. Magical. I was shaking like mad. Honestly, just with adrenaline, excitement, that experience will not leave me. I'm just happy days. I honestly thought when I arrived, with the weather and the way things were going, that I was going to leave here with lots of fond memories, but no great shots. And I know I've got a few days left, but my God, I was so pleased. Can't wait to get back and have a look at the images. But yeah, so to celebrate my otter success today, my first ever session, proper session with otters, with a successful few pictures, happy days. Thanks very much. Before the rain comes in. It's moments like that in nature that just make everything worthwhile. And those people out there that know exactly what I mean, it really does make all the difference when you get moments like that. I'm just, yeah, made up. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time. So guys, as you can probably hear, it's absolutely hammering down outside, and time today to edit your images. And laptop at the moment, my MacBook Pro is pretty much out of battery, so I've just plugged it into the Jackery system. Got the AC adapter on the front there, and obviously to power my my MacBook, which is kind of essential today, rather than going down to the Land Rover, starting up the engine, trying to run the MacBook from there. But as you can see on the front, as I said before, you've got various functions with the Jackery system. At the moment, plugged into the AC. You've got the 3 USBs there. You've got your DC means there and your inputs, and you've got your main input there for your solar and for also charging from mains, etc. And that's pretty much it, to be honest. It's quite self-explanatory, really. The display there, the output is what the energy requirements or the power requirements for the MacBook. There's no input because I'm not feeding any input there, as in charging while I'm using, and it's currently at 60%, and that's what I achieved yesterday when charging from solar means. So really, really good. So I can work away quite happily now in the comfort of the roof tent on some of my images that I captured yesterday. But yeah, really, really good. You know, ideal, gets me out of a bind really, and saves me running my engine downstairs on the car. So yeah, really, really good.